What is up, YouTube? Welcome back, guys. Today we are doing a Supergiant LOCKDOWN profile of one of our latest gold Conquest matches. This is probably the most perfect circumstances of how this deck functions. This guy was absolutely demolished in 3 games. He had maybe one playline the first game, but the second 2 games, it's just complete control. He had nothing he could do, and I just wanted you guys to watch this to take a peek at how this video can really showcase the strengths of Supergiant LOCKDOWN right now. He has no idea. All right, so this first game, we're still trying to figure out. We don't know his deck yet, obviously. We almost always want to play Zabu as our turn 2 play. We don't have Nebula, so we can't drop that on turn 1, so we can just end the turn. Leche Guila. It's a spicy location. I have Quake in hand. I'm thinking that we can start changing things around. Try to get some rocks in his deck. And then we get hit with the deep space. That is a big bummer. Unfortunately, for him, we have Quake in our hand. So we're not going to quite do it yet. I'm waiting to see if he'll drop like Cyclops or commit to another lane so that we can really take advantage of deep space. And right now I'm thinking of dropping Quake into mid so we can send deep space over to the left side. But then I'm also thinking maybe we hit Iron Lad can hit a Storm, or we could try to Supergiant for Prio. And there's the Leech. The bane of so many people's turn 5 existences. But we have a plan. Oh yes, we have a plan. We're going to Quake his ass right here. That's going to turn off Leech with deep space. Getting distracted by Rogue's contrails. Sorry about that. So we're just playing Quake. We'll just get the swap. And his Leech has now been turned off, which is absolutely amazing for us. So at this point, this is turn 6. We know he can't win because we are tied or above in every lane, and he can't cover all 3 lanes. So with Zabu, we have our discount. We can get 2 4 costs out. Miss Marvel goes above Nebula, puts 5 more power into mid, where we get up to 13, and then Supergiant gets over the left side. And he didn't float any power last turn, so he can't do the She-Hulk 6-drop shenanigans. And that's going to be game 1 for Lucas. He has no idea what's in store for him, let me tell you that. All right, so for game 2, this game I'm already thinking, how do we get Hala to activate on his cards? Obviously, we need to draw Quake, and then we just stack a lane. So we didn't draw Nebula. That means Jeff is going to be our next best option for turn 2. There's the Zabu. So I'm still thinking Quake is a possibility. And I don't necessarily want to commit to the Quake play without drawing it. So we're putting Zabu on the right side so that if we do play Quake, it would switch mid and left. And this is where it starts to get a little bit spicy. Get ready, guys. We're hitting with the Storm. That's going to count out in Eternity range. We beat the Cosmo, which is huge. And now we're thinking, okay, this is about to get spicy. So what's about to happen is I want to break this down because there's a lot going on in this one play. So Quake, her ability swaps the two other locations that she's not at, right? So right now, we know that Flooding and Hala are going to swap sides, right? With Storm on the board, this is the last turn that you can play cards into her lane. There's almost a 99% chance he's going to try to put cards into that Flooding location so that he can have some sort of power there. On top of that, we have Bifrost. So after this turn's over, Hala is going to destroy everything in its lane on the losing player's side. And Bifrost is going to shift everything over to the right one. So right now, we're overloading the right side as best we can. So we're throwing the Jeff down, and then we've got Quake in the middle to swap the locations. And then Bifrost is going to shift Quake over to the right. So let's just see what happens here. This poor guy. He never had a chance. So basically, even if Bifrost wasn't there, we still would have gotten the play we were going for. Bifrost was just like kind of like the cherry on top, so it destroyed his entire board. And at this point, the game's pretty much over. We can play Vision, which will let us move into Flooded if we need to. We have Jeff and we have Vision. Vision's just 8 power. And we also have Zabu down, so we can do 2 4-drops, so it's really not worth it to play anything except for Vision right now on this turn. All right, we know he's floating, so he's going to have She-Hulk coming out and something else. So we're just securing left side with Jeff, and then we just go over the top in mid. And then Miss Marvel rounds us out with a little bit of power in the middle as well. And Iron Lad ends up hitting the Alioth. This poor guy. That has got to be the most frustrating game of Snap if I was on the receiving end of that. That is picture perfect Giant Lockdown. I don't know if there's a better game to display the strengths of this deck. So we've basically wrapped up this Conquest. We got one more round. We're feeling it. RNG's on our side. Marvel Snap gods are blessing us with some insane plays. Dude, wasn't that gross? Oh, Lucas. Poor little Lucas. I feel bad, man. But do you really feel bad when you're beating high Evo decks, especially ones that run Leech? No, we don't. All right, so for this game 3, we have Storm in hand. We're already thinking how we want to utilize her. Bar with no name. That's like a great Quake location. So right now I'm just praying to draw Quake so we can kind of get some shenanigans with Bar. No turn 2, turn 3. We're going to go ahead and drop Storm on the right side. See if we can bait something over there for the eventual Quake play. And unfortunately for Lucas, this is just not his game. Our friend drops Magic. We immediately have the Storm to reverse that. So there's going to be no turn 7. There's going to be no She-Hulk Infinite shenanigans this time. So now we're trying to figure out... I don't know if I want to commit to Flooding, because if we draw Quake, then we're going to swap Bar with no name and Flooding. So I don't want to put power there so that we can win with Bar. So we're just going left. We're going to try to get the win, get the draw. We do end up getting it. He plays Leech because he's that type of player, which is fine. All right, so we still don't have a play for Bar. Right now, I'm thinking that Vision might be the play so we can get into Flooded. but there's also the chance if we don't draw Quake, we need to have a playline to win left. Everything's going to go away as far as card text goes with Leech next turn. So we're just trying to figure out what the best playline is here to keep power vertical on the left. Ultimately, I think we do decide to go with Vision. It's just strong vertical power, and it gives us the flexibility of going into the flooded location if we end up not drawing Quake. Final turn, he leeches our ass. We lose all our card text, and what do you know? We top deck the Quake. This is just the primo Conquest game. We're getting everything we need. Quake's gonna swap bar and flooded. So that means that he's going to lose the right side because we'll just have Storm. So 6 is greater than 4, so he loses that. We go vertical on the left side just in case. And then we put 1 card in the middle just to win that flooded location once it swaps. We're just double checking our play lines. And that's going to wrap it up for us. Nothing in the middle. We've secured the middle with Quake. We've secured the right side with Quake. Absolutely demolished. That's something. That's something. Those are the type of games that you get once in a blue moon, but they feel so damn good.